Hi everyone, welcome back to another podcast episode. My name is Alicia Gogan, the host of the Glow Up Secrets podcast, where I help you expand your mind and become more self-aware so that you can glow up into the best version of yourself. Hello, how are we doing? Happy Monday if you're listening to this on Monday, Cyber Monday. You guys, a lot of you guys who live in the States just did your whole Thanksgiving weekend. I live in Canada, so we already did that way earlier than you guys, but I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving if you were celebrating. I am happy to be back doing the off-topic episodes. I know the past week we kind of didn't do that, but I also know that you guys really enjoyed the last two episodes. We talked about living cyclically, balancing masculine and feminine energy, and then I also talked about becoming that girl. And if you haven't listened to those episodes, definitely go check them out in the description below. Today we're gonna kiki. We're just gonna chill, we're gonna relax, whatever time you're listening to this episode. Maybe you're cleaning, maybe you're just chilling, relaxing, maybe you're watching on YouTube, whatever the case is. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, this sweater is from White Fox. I am super obsessed with it. I'm pretty sure I still have a discount code. I'll have it in the description. I don't know if it works. I think it still works. So we can just start by saying I'm really tired. I am so tired because I am about to get my period. Tomorrow is going to be the day, or probably tonight. But what I like to do also before I get my period is always do my heaviest leg day, or not my heaviest leg day, but just make sure that I get my last leg day in right before I'm about to get my period, because when I'm on my period, I don't really like to lift. And that only is about 3 solid days, and then I'll get back into the gym. I still move my body. I'll usually go to Pilates. I'll do other things, but so I'm really tired and drained, but I am happy that I did my leg day. And this is the thing. And I don't know if anyone else gets like this, but during your luteal phase, your luteal phase is actually 2 weeks before you actually bleed. The first week, I start to get that irritation, light switch. We talked about that 10 days out of your period. Usually the mood changes. You're getting a little bit of PMS symptoms, but nothing too crazy. I'll feel the attitude, the irritation in my bones for maybe a day or two. And then I kind of coast. And then the week before I bleed, that's when I just feel energetically, I'm depleted. I always need to nap. I always need way more sleep. And I definitely do get more emotional and more moody. Not the moodiness that I experienced 10 days prior, the irritation, everything is so annoying, but just in your feelings a little bit more. So when I am the week before my period, my workouts are so hard. They are just I just don't have the energy. But then right the day before I'm going to get my period, that's when my energy basically kind of goes back to normal in a way. And even when I'm bleeding, my energy actually is kind of back up. I'm almost actually going back up. But because I'm cramping and I'm super bloated, I still don't like to go to the gym and do heavy hip thrusts and, have all that weight on my stomach and stuff. I just don't like to do that. But that's why I like to do my leg day right before I'm about to bleed, because I know that I have energy. So that was today, although I'm still very much so depleted. I'm actually going to a Pilates class in after I'm done recording this. But it's supposed to be more of a restorative Pilates class. So I go to Nice Day Pilates in Toronto, and a lot of you guys messaged me asking about that studio. It's so beautiful, so cute. It's a boutique studio. So it only has 6 reformers at a time, and they have one in the back, for private classes. But I just love it because obviously all the instructors are really nice. It's very inclusive. It's very cute and aesthetic. But I just feel because the classes are so small and intimate, it's almost you're getting one-on-one Pilates classes every single time. But they invited me to this event that they're doing, and it's this restorative class. So I'm going, but I think it's going to be good for me because it's not going to be too hard. Pilates in general is not a super hard workout for me. And I say that because I also am a seasoned person who works out a lot. But honestly, I think the more times you go to do Pilates, it's not necessarily supposed to be this hard, strenuous workout. You're working little tiny muscles in your body that you never usually work. And you're working on so much strength and coordination that it requires you to move slow. But even moving slow, though, you definitely can break a sweat. There's times that I'm breaking a sweat. It's just not my leg days. But I love my leg days. I am such a leg day girl. And I've just been really enjoying the past year being consistent in the gym. And I definitely want to talk more about that probably for the new year, because I know a lot of people are going to be into their fitness journeys. A lot of you guys have been asking me to make like a beginner's guide thing. I'm actually, the next YouTube video that I'm going to be posting on my channel I want to talk about the thing that's getting in the way of you and your progress or your dream body or whatever. So definitely stay tuned for that, because I have definitely learned some lessons on my journey when it comes to seeing results in the gym. But another reason why I'm feeling a little bit tired is because I did go home. I was out of my routine. I did sleep pretty well, but the last night that I was there, I met up with my greatest friends, bestie of all besties. I love her. She's just my girl. Danielle, she lives in Barrie, and I see her when I can. Like, we're busy girls, we're working girls. Why did saying working girls sound like not the right word to use? We're not like those type of working girls. No shade, no shade. So I met up with her and we had some drinks at her work, and then we decided to go out. We decided to hit the town of downtown Barrie. Listen, if you know Barrie, then you know. And if you don't, then I don't think you could handle it. And it's so funny because I even said this. So first of all, there's not a lot of clubs or like bars in Barrie. There's like only a select few, and they're like not that good. They used to be so much better back in the day. Maybe that's just because me and all of my friends went out and we just had the best time ever. And like my sisters were out there. I don't know. Everyone left the city, I feel, but whatever. They had this new, it's like this new like bar slash club. I don't know if it's going to really last, but whatever. We went there because it has decent music. Like, it has the music that we want to listen to. And it was a Thursday night. So we all went there, but like, it's giving Barrie, it's giving small town vibes. It's giving, a lot of people are very drunk. A lot of people are very messy. A lot of people are just whatever. This is the thing. I'm not really one to judge because I'm from Barrie. And also there's something so lighthearted and fun about going out, and there's not really there's no competition. There's no like, people don't really care too much about their appearance. Everyone's just like drinking and having a good time. So like, I'm not ever going out in Barrie expecting like 10 out of 10 service, 10 out of 10 people, like just the most bougie places. Like, I'm not expecting that. And you just need to know that when you go out sometimes in Barrie. But I love it. Like, I just knew that it was going to be what it was. And it was amazing. It was fun because I went out with all my friends and we just drank and like had a great time. But obviously, because I didn't drink a lot, but because I drank and I stayed up, I'm obviously still feeling it. Like, I'm still tired. But I didn't get any anxiety, which I have been saying in the past few off-topic episodes. If I have gone out, which is not that much, it sounds like I'm like this party girl. I'm really not. But it seems like every time that I've been drinking, I've been experiencing anxiety. But I think I spaced out my drinking enough, and I made sure to drink a lot of water, and like I ate and stuff like that. So like that also helped with just not having really too much of a hangover. And I get the worst hangovers after like one drink. It's so bad. But I didn't get anxiety. I wasn't having a lot of anxiety. I went home the next day and I was like chill. So that was really nice. And then I came back. I decided to get Disney Plus to watch the Kardashians because I'm in my Kardashian era, I guess. I don't know. I just wanted to watch something that wasn't The Real Housewives. And I did some Black Friday shopping. And this is the thing. I wasn't even honestly planning on like waiting for all these deals and Black Friday shopping and shopping for things that I didn't need. But there was definitely a bunch of things that were kind of on my list of things that I knew that I actually needed to get, that I'm like, I might as well just get them during Black Friday because everyone's having sales. Now, the next episode, I'm going to be talking about my That Girl favorites, everything from like a beauty, hair, books, products, everything. So I'm not going to go too much in depth of everything that I got because I'll just say it on that episode. But I got some new slippers. I bought another lamp. You can't see it because it's behind here. But if you guys follow me on Instagram, I bought another lamp for my living room because it was on sale and I just really like this type of lamp. I finally bought a rug. From Amazon actually, for my living room, and it wasn't on sale, but I ended up buying it because I checked to see if it was on sale from this Amazon girlie. You know those Amazon girlies? They'll get you. They will get you. You got to be careful. You can't consume too much of their content because you will buy everything. But I really love this girl's aesthetic. Her name's Sydney Nicole, I believe. Nicole. I don't know. I'll have the carpet linked though. and you'll see it on my Instagram when I actually get it. But she had this really nice carpet from Amazon, and I've been eyeing it, and I wanted to get it because I'm like so indecisive when it comes to carpets, because I need to see how it looks and the aesthetic, and I'm too scared to get it and it's not going to look nice. I've been looking on Ruggable for like ever, and I was like, you know what? No, this looks really good. Her aesthetic, and she has like the same type of couch as me. I'm just going to get this because I know that it's going to look good. But it wasn't in stock. And then I was like, maybe let me check and see if it's on like Black Friday deals, and it wasn't. But it also wasn't in stock. But then I went on Amazon Canada, which is where I have to buy most of my stuff anyways, and it was in stock. So I'm like, this is the time, I'm going to get it. And it was cheaper than a lot of the Ruggable rugs that I saw anyway. So I'm like, let me just do it. And it's Amazon, free delivery. I have Prime, it's fine. And also, I have been drinking basically tap water because my Brita is so old that it's like so gross that I don't even want to drink from it. But I knew I didn't want to repurchase a Brita, and I wanted to get this Santivia water filtering system, but I was just like waiting forever. I don't know what I was waiting for. So I knew that I wanted to buy it when I got back home. I literally put it in the recycling because I'm like, I'm forcing myself to buy this because I need filtered water, like hello. But I really wanted to get this one because my somatic therapist has it at her office, and anything from Rachel, she knows what is good. She is the bougiest of bougie. She only gets the highest of highest qualities, everything, whether that's home, whether that's like food products, everything. Like she's bougie, okay? And so any of her recommendations, I will listen and I will get. But I also actually tried this water, and this water tasted unreal. And so essentially it's like a water filter system that takes out fluoride from the water, which is also really good for your health and your teeth health. Although some dentists will argue and say that fluoride is actually good for your teeth. But I look at oral health and a lot of things in the health industry from a more functional, more holistic standpoint. So whatever, you just got to do your own research. Takes out fluoride, but it also adds back in minerals into your water. Like it has like these like mineral rocks, like it's a whole system. So if you want to see it, definitely follow me on Instagram because I'll end up posting it. And I think I'm even more highly influenced to get this water filter system because I've had a huge long journey with my teeth health. When I was younger, we didn't have any benefits or insurance. I had a lot of cavities. I was a kid who ate a lot of sugar, even more than my parents even knew. And although, yes, my mom and my dad told me to brush my teeth, I did. I didn't have like rotting teeth, but I just unfortunately, I ended up getting a lot of cavities. I had to reverse a lot of that damage when I would say when I started hitting like 18, 19, 20, and I had to go to the dentist, and I realized I had a lot of work to do and I had to pay out of pocket. I busted my ass to pay. As soon as I started getting into health and wellness around like 18, 19, 20, in my early 20s, I guess, is when I was like, okay, let me go to the dentist and see what I need to get done. I realized I had so much work to get done, and I did not care how much money it took. I had no insurance. I was going to put all of my cash into getting my teeth done because I was like, I'm not going to lose my teeth. Like, I'm not doing that. So I got everything done. It took many years to get all of the work that I needed to get done. And in that journey, I learned a lot about oral health, obviously, and taking care of my teeth properly. Now I do. I have so many better practices. I also had acid reflux when I was in my late teens, early 20s. So that didn't help the enamel of my teeth. I had sensitive teeth. I still have sensitive teeth, but I just had a lot of teeth issues. So I take very, very good care of my teeth now. And there's a few other things that I want to do for my teeth to support. But something that the dentist always suggests is to get certain toothpaste that can re-add some minerals to my actual teeth to keep them strong. And you can get that in certain different types of toothpaste, which I actually have linked on my I Like to Know It. And I put the toothpaste on my teeth at night, and then I just go to sleep. And then I use regular toothpaste during the day, whatever. But having water that actually has minerals can help actually mineralize your teeth more, keep them strong, keep them healthy. So that's obviously another reason why it's great. Not me going on a tangent about teeth and water. But listen, this is what I said. I've said this before. I am super, super, super into my self-care era right now. Just doing the extra steps, just really making sure that I'm on point with my teeth cleaning and making sure that I'm doing the best that I can to support my teeth. So the reason why I went to the dentist was because I was getting a teeth clean, but I am going to be going back to get x-rays done to consider doing Invisalign. So there are two things that I want to get done for my teeth. And I think the best route, and I've been talking to my dentist about this, is to do Invisalign. Now, my teeth are straight. I'm good with them. I actually don't really care to like have like straighter teeth. Like my teeth are honestly pretty good, but I have a gap in between my teeth, and I had a composite filling in between them to close it a little bit more, because when I was younger, I just wanted that done, and I didn't get Invisalign, didn't have enough money, and I just thought like that was the easiest way. But because my teeth are a certain like width, dentists didn't want to completely close the gap with composite filling, because then my teeth would look really wide, just the measurements. Like when you're talking about cosmetic dentistry, you better find a dentist who actually measures your teeth and stuff, obviously. Like they actually have to do that kind of stuff. So they were like, they opted out of that, which was fine. I was like, whatever, it closes it a little bit. That's fine. Like I like it that way. That's okay. But now that it's coming off and it's chipping a little bit, that's usually what happens. So I was like, okay, so I can either continue to get that composite filling, but I can't really close that gap, or I can get Invisalign to realign all of my teeth. Now my teeth are not the straightest, so I actually could benefit from doing Invisalign, but then that would just close the gap so I don't have to keep getting any sort of like composite filling. But another thing is my gums, they sit fairly low. They cover a lot of my teeth, I should say. And so I might be doing a little bit of gum laser. It sounds really, really like crazy and invasive, and it's not. I've thought about this for many years. So I might do that after Invisalign. And the main reason why I was thinking about even doing the gum revision is obviously to show more of my teeth. But once my teeth look a little bit more lengthened, it will makes more sense to have my gap closed. I don't know, whatever. I will obviously keep you guys updated on that. I just need to go and get the all the x-rays done, and I still am just like considering doing Invisalign. Like I am not sure if I want to fully go through with that yet, and I don't feel like I need to. Like I remember when I was younger, you know, I wanted this so bad because I just thought like my smile wasn't nice and I didn't like it, and I was really insecure. And now I'm actually very, very secure with my smile and my teeth. Like I actually, like if I decide like it just doesn't make sense, or if I just couldn't do it, I would be so happy with my smile. And this is what I always say. It's like when you go through a healing journey, there's going to be things that you don't like about yourself. And it doesn't mean that you can never change those things. But what I found is it's important to kind of learn why you don't like them and give yourself enough time to really sit on a decision if it comes to like changing something cosmetically, and just give yourself that time. And then if you decide, you know, once you're a little bit more secure and you realize, okay, I don't have to hate this part of me and whatever it is, if you still want to do something, then you can do it. That's totally fine. And I think the same thing goes with like, let's say losing weight. Like you're allowed to want to lose weight. You're allowed to want to look more fit, but it's like, how are we changing? Are we changing from this place of I have to, or I'm not going to be worthy, I hate myself, rejection, all this kind of stuff, because then it's just the process is going to be harder. And realistically, if you go, let's say, and you get a surgery, or if you get freaking veneers, like you're probably still going to have these insecurities about yourself. You're still going to be thinking that you're not worthy. And this is where there's always arguments with this, oh, let people get what they want and they want to do this and do that. Yeah, for sure. Like go and get whatever you want done. But it's like, let's get to the root and let's give ourselves time. And that's what I wanted to do, especially with anything to do with my teeth. I was like, I'm just going to give myself time. I really learned to love my smile and my teeth. And then now I'm still at a point where I'm like, okay, like if it makes sense, then that's what I'll get. But I definitely at one point didn't like my smile to the point where I thought that I was like, I'm just going to get veneers, which I would never do. I would never, take away my beautiful, healthy teeth just for like perfect, flawless teeth. I just wouldn't do it. Also, when I was home, another reason why I went was to get a curly cut. So every time I go home, I love to just go to my hairstylist. This place is called Curly Hair Maven, just right outside of Barrie, which is so crazy that they even have curly hairstylists in Barrie, which is just like, it's so hard to find somebody who knows how to cut curly hair. Cutting curly hair is different than cutting straight hair. It just is. It needs a whole different type of styling, different type of everything. So that's something I learned in my journey of like embracing my natural hair. So I've been going there for a few years now, and I just wanted to get a trim because I knew that my hair was growing a lot this summer. Like, oh my gosh, it's been growing so much that I was like, okay, let me do a little trim because I still want to keep this length and I want my hair to be beautiful and continuously growing. But in order to do that, you do need to get some trims sometimes. And I also used to have highlights in my hair they weren't like super like popping. You wouldn't really see too much unless you saw it in real life. But when I was going on my natural journey, I did get like lowlights or highlights and lowlights in my hair, and they're all grown out now, which is crazy because my hair has grown so much. But the ends still have a little tiny bit of coloring. You can't see it. My hair literally looks dark, but it's still kind of there. So my ends are a little bit more drier than the rest of my hair. So I just kind of wanted to like chop that off. So I just got a trim. I also like wrote down a few things that I learned from the stylist. Some of these things I kind of already knew, but I figured I would just like read it out if anyone has curly hair, or I think like some of these could just be helpful in general. So one of the things that she was telling me, and she said specifically, a girl came in with the same hair texture as me. I have like 4C curly curls, like tight coily curls, especially at my roots. Now my curl pattern is a little bit different depending on like where my hair is and where it sits, but whatever. I have like very, very, very curly black hair. And honestly, for the most part, my hair is actually very soft, very luscious, as long as I'm taking care of it, as long as I'm moisturizing my hair and like obviously detangling my hair. My hair can get very dry very quick. But she was saying how somebody came in with the same texture of hair that I have, and she was saying my hair was actually quite soft. So I'll just give myself that. But she said she had like the softest hair she ever felt. And she was asking like, what does she do for her routine? And the girl was saying that she does scalp massages with oil. And I'm like, thank you for telling me that, because I've been trying to do this with my hair routine recently. And now I just feel like that just like reinforces the fact that yes, keep doing that. And especially if you have curly hair or any sort of hair that might be like a little bit more on the drier side, or you have a lot of hair, even if you don't, this can help like grow your hair as well. It's really important for your hair to have some oils and you're on your scalp. Obviously, I feel like we all know that now. And so doing scalp massages before you get in to wash your hair is really good, to just break up any of the product that's on your scalp so that your hair can actually grow. But also doing some oil massages just to get that oil in your scalp, or on your scalp, sorry, so that your hair can grow as well. Now, she was also saying a lot of people think, oh, okay, well, if I need oil and the oil is going to help allow my hair to grow, then I'm going to put it on my ends, but actually don't put it on your ends, because that actually closes your hair follicles to the point where it doesn't actually retain any moisture. So you want to have natural oils, or you want to have oils for the scalp area, but not for your ends. So I don't actually put oil on my ends, but that's just a tip for anyone. Oil on the scalp massage, maybe like a few nights out of the week, and then, you know, let your hair just thrive. She also said hot water is not the best. And she said also, if you can, to rinse your hair at the end of your shower with cold water. And I hear that all the time. I'm going to try and do that. But she was saying how sometimes like hot water can kind of either damage your curl pattern or your hair texture sometimes if it's too hot. And you know what? The top of my hair, like when my hair is down, the curl pattern is different than how it is underneath, which is normal when you have curly hair or any sort of texture in your hair. Like your curls are kind of like different depending. But she was saying how hot water could be the culprit sometimes for, let's say, the top of your hair to look a little bit not as defined. The curls are not as defined because it's getting hot water on it hit all of the time. So what I'm going to be doing in my showers is I'm going to, you know, get my hair lathered and do everything that I need to do, but just kind of make sure that I'm not directly under the hot water and it constantly be on the top of my head, because I want my hair to be super healthy, obviously. And the last thing that she was suggesting was to kind of do either a weekly or a monthly, ideally like a weekly thing, but she even said like monthly, where you are sitting down and you are doing like a full wash day and a full moisturizing day. So what I like to do usually like every Sunday is to do a deep conditioner on my hair, like a deep conditioning mask, and then I put it under my hot cap and then let that sit, and then I kind of like rinse it out, and then I put my normal product in it. But she was saying like really take the time after you're doing your deep conditioners to like get out of the shower, or you can do it in the shower, and really section your hair in small sections and rake through your cream, and then put in your gel, and then put in your mousse, and do that with all of your hair, and like really let that sit and soak in your hair. And then that should really last you a few days. And doing that consistently can really help, because at the end of the day, like if our hair is not growing, well, there's many reasons why our hair is not growing, obviously, but our hair really requires a lot of moisture, a lot of, not even a lot of product. You don't have to put so much product, but the way in which you put that product in and how much time you spend on your hair can definitely help. And you know, I look at my hair as something, as like my hair care routine, as something like brushing my teeth. At first, I was really resistant to it, but I was like, this is just something I have to do. Regardless of the type of hair that you have, like you have to pour your time and your attention into your hair. Like it deserves it the same way you have to do with your teeth. And I know it can be annoying sometimes to do it, but it's like, it's just what it requires. And also, of course, if you want good hair, then you kind of need to do that kind of stuff. So anyways, my hair is feeling really, really healthy. Like my ends are super defined and I love that. So keep you updated with all the hair updates. I also post all of like my hair products and stuff that I'm using on my LTK. So definitely if you want to check out anything that I'm using on my hair, it will be down in the description. Also, I do want to start dry brushing again, but I haven't started. I have pulled it out though. I pulled it out and I put it on my counter. So we will see. Because I just want to exfoliate my legs a little bit more and just like really keep my skin nice and smooth throughout the winter. I just feel like winter is the time to just like really pour into yourself. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes when I'm doing these long self-care days, I'm just thinking about how fucking glowing I'm going to be in the summer. Not like I already am not glowing, because I honestly am. Like I really do think that I am, but I'm just like, oh my God, next summer, not like we're living for summer, because we are not living for summer. Regardless, we are going to have an amazing summer. Okay, let's just put that out there. But y'all going to look extra good if you keep it up. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to myself at least. So I want to start doing dry brushing. Also, another thing, I have pulled out my humidifier for my room because my skin is feeling it. My skin has felt the dryness of winter come and infiltrate its beautiful moisture that it has in my face. So I have a humidifier from Canopy. I will link it down below if you're interested in it. It's a really good, really, really good humidifier. And it also has like an area where you can put like essential oils in it. So it's time to pull out your humidifiers, honestly, for your hair, for your skin, for your health, for your breathing, everything. Also, so obviously daylight savings is a thing now. Like the clocks went back, I believe, whatever. We basically don't have a lot of sunlight during the winter time for most places. And I was thinking about how our routines honestly change so much, and honestly should, which brings it back to the cyclical way of living. But I don't know, maybe you guys can comment down below and let me know what your routines tend to look like more in the wintertime versus summer, because they're so different. And it's nice that it's kind of different though, because you know, we understand that things will change and like summer will come again and we'll have more longer days. But I was just thinking how in the summer, I remember like I would wake up really early. The sun usually is out and like you're just like kind of like motivated and ready to go. I found that I had a lot of energy to like do my early morning workouts and just like get the day started. And what I usually would do is like work through the entire day. And then, you know, maybe around like 5-ish or 6, like that's when I'm like, okay, like let me do something with my day because the sun is still out. But I find in the wintertime now, well, first because it's dark out in the morning, I'm way less motivated to work out. Sorry guys, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening audio, my camera heated up, so I just need to remember what I was saying. Okay, yeah, so the daylight savings, the routine. So I feel like in the mornings, I'm not really motivated to work out. I'm not an early morning workout person anyways, but especially because it's dark. So I like to actually like get some work done. I was talking about this in my winter habits video on my main channel. I like to kind of like eat something, do some work. I like to go on a little walk like once the sun is out, but then I don't usually go to the gym till around like 10-ish. And then when I get back, I obviously get ready and then I do a lot of my work for the day. But I like to kind of like get a break in between the day. Once it gets around like 2 to 3 o'clock, I do my best to go outside and get a walk or like soak up the sun because the sun is about to go down. So I kind of break up my days more. And I know this is different for people who like have a 9-to-5 or obviously like work at 5 or like a restaurant industry or whatever you do. I totally get that. But for me, I try to capitalize as much as I can on the sun during the day, which means I'm not having naps, because if I have a nap at like 2 o'clock, then I'm going to wake up. It depends on how long the nap is, but if I wake up, then it's basically going to be like the sun is setting, and that's really depressing. So I don't usually have naps. I try not to be super, super cooped up all the time. in my house or whatever that I'm doing during the day. And then I kind of get back to work once the sun is setting again, because at the end of the day, it's like now I have like, it's at 5 p.m. It's super, super dark. I'm still like, it's still too early to like start a night routine or like wind down. So it's like, what am I going to do? So I'd rather just like work in that moment, or like do maybe an hour or two of more work. And then around 7 o'clock is when I start, like I'll have dinner and then I'll do like my night routine and things like that. Versus I think in the summertime, I would just like sprint through the entire day, and then I would have like all of the rest of the night with the sun, obviously, to like do what I want. I had more time to have a nap, obviously. I also think like having so much sun in just the summertime, you do tend to be more tired. At least that was me. Like I was always having naps in the summertime. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was a napper basically every day. But now I don't even feel like I need that. So anyways, I don't know. Just let me know in the comments or even on Spotify what your routines are looking like in the wintertime. Do you have a new morning routine? Do you have a new night routine? Like what is it that you guys are doing? And also, do you guys want to see more of my routines? Because I was thinking about doing I think a new morning routine as well on my main channel. Also, I was on TikTok and this girl named Sam Doll, and she's so funny. I feel like she's like some sort of comedian. She's also from Toronto. I've seen her at a few events before. She was talking about, because she works in the restaurant industry, and she was talking about how there's two types of people. And you guys need to let me know in the comments which person you are, regardless if you work in the industry, in the restaurant industry or not. But she was saying how there's the people who will literally make plans in the middle of the day. Like maybe they're going to go for their workout, and then they're going to go brunch with their mom, and then they're going to go shopping, and then they're going to see their friends before they start their shift at 5 p.m. And then there's people who are like, I have to work at 5 p.m. I can't do anything. I was the person who was like, I work at 5 p.m. I can't do anything. And I think when it comes to anything, even outside of having to work, let's say at night, like the later shift, let's say you have an event to go to, or like you just have something to go to later, the way that I can only comprehend doing one thing is wild. And I think this brings it even back to like girl math. Like let's say I have a date at 8 p.m. When I wake up in the morning, my whole entire day is structured around this date. Like in the morning, okay, yeah, maybe I'm getting my workout in, but like, okay, if I have to do my hair and I have to get my outfit and I have to do my makeup at this time, I have to like make sure that I'm getting in my shower so that I can do my hair, which means I have to make sure that my workout is done at this time so that I can get into the shower. And then that means I have to do my work at this time in order to get in the shower, to do my hair, to do this, to go on the date. Like that is how I operate. And I need to know if you guys are on the same page with me, because she was even saying like she's the girl that operates with this whole like, there's nothing that I can do because I start work at 5 p.m. Like, what am I going to do? But I remember there'd be some times where I would work with certain girls who they always seemed to do a million things before they went to work. Or like some of my work friends would always be like, oh, like, do you want to go get lunch and stuff like before we start our shift? And I'm just kind of like, well, when are we going to do that? Like, when are we going to do that? And it's so crazy because you actually do have enough time. But in my mind, I'm like, I got to work tonight. Like, I can't do anything. And what I used to actually do though, thankfully, I didn't like sit around and do nothing. I would just work on my business. Like I would just work on social media every day. Like I would just record and film because I was able to do that at home. But in terms of like me going out and shopping or doing anything, I was never doing that before work or before an event or anything. Oh my gosh. We kind of need to stop though. You know what that is? It's perfectionism. A lot of the times it's like, oh my God, like I need to have like 800 million hours before I get things done because I need to have, I don't know. It's definitely perfectionism. And I used to do that all the time, which would also make me really miserable because then I just felt like I was never living my life. And then there would be times where I would tell myself like, you can actually go to lunch before you go to work and you don't need to have anxiety about this. Like it's fine. And then I would sometimes show myself it was possible. But for the majority of the time, I was like, no, I'm having anxiety if I were to go to lunch at like 1 o'clock and I have to work at 5. Anyways, let me know what type of person you are. Also, can we talk about Drake's new album? Now, some of the songs were already dropped, but what is it even called? It's called For All the Dogs Scary Hours Edition with the two little like fairy girls. I do love that color scheme, not gonna lie. By the way, if you want any or all of my Spotify playlists, it'll be linked down below. Alicia Gogan, just type my name in on Spotify and you'll find my podcast, or yes, you will find my podcast, but you will also find my Spotify playlist. And I added a lot of songs into different albums or different playlists. But This reminds me of like old Drake from like 2017, 2018. Like this album reminds me of like What a Time to Be Alive type of like the future Drake vibes, but also like Scorpion. Is that the album? I don't know if it's called Scorpion or Scorpion or something. I don't even know. That energy, it's just giving like old Drake. I used to be obsessed with Drake, and then I kind of stopped listening to him for like a few years. But honestly, I like this music more than even the music that he was playing when he was doing the tour that I was supposed to go to Nashville. And now I'm also kind of sad because I'm not going to be going to Nashville to go to the postponed concert, and this is a new one, and they're obviously going to be like, he's obviously going to be playing a lot of this new music with J. Cole, which J. Cole is so much better to me than 21 Savage. Like, I'm not going to lie, I'm so sorry, 21 Savage, but J. Cole is J. Cole. Anyways, I'm really loving his album. So if you have not listened to some of his music, just go listen to it. I feel like Drake he's coming back. He's bringing back like the Toronto vibes of how we used to be 2017, 2018. I just feel like he went through a phase and I didn't like that phase, and now we're back. And I just think that, you know, everyone's listening to this music now. Every time that I go out, like, this is what's being played. This is what's being, you know, tossed around at the places that we're going to, and I'm here for it. I really like it. Also, I watched Escaping Twin Flames on Netflix. You guys need to watch it. It's insane. I'm obsessed with psychological thrillers, documentaries, psychopath behavior, anything to do with cults. I love that kind of stuff. Which this is a 3-part documentary series on, I won't try to like give too much away, but essentially like this couple comes online as this like, oh, we are each other's twin flames and we know how to help you guys find your twin flames. And they basically convince people that their exes or anyone that they really like, that most likely are like not with them right now, is actually their twin flame. And you basically need to do whatever you need to do to get them to be together, because like there's no one else there for you. So they manipulate people to, of course, spend thousands and thousands of dollars on their coaching and their courses and everything. And they're basically pushing these people to like stalk their exes and, you know, really try and force these outcomes, because they're telling them, they also are telling these people that they specifically have this power to know who their twin flame is, and like no one else can tell them but them. So these people are like, yep, this is your twin flame. Anyways, it's insane. It's really scary. They're convincing young girls that these guys on the internet, random guys on the internet, are like their twin flames, and to the point where these girls are like moving to different states to meet with these guys, and these guys are like treating them really badly and abusing them, and like they're getting married to these guys, and they're so like internally scared. There's this one girl who's just like so like, she knows she's not supposed to be with this guy, but these people are telling her that she's supposed to be with them, and like, oh my God, it's insane. And then it gets even deeper to the point where when these people are clearly not able to get with their twin flames, they're essentially saying that their twin flames are actually in the Facebook groups or in the coaching groups. And then it became a problem because a lot of the people that were in these groups were all female, and there wasn't even that many males. So they were like, well, who's my twin flame? Because there's not a lot of males in here. And they try and convince them and manipulate them to think that actually there's like some people in here are feminine, like divine feminines and divine masculines. And so there's girls in here who are actually masculine. And then they basically convince these girls that they're essentially masculine and they're supposed to be guys, essentially, to the point where some of them are transitioning. Some of them transitioned. Okay, listen, we're not against people doing what they need to do and what they want to do and like whatever, like that's a whole separate conversation. But this is absolutely insane. And it's crazy and it sucks because obviously like there's certain things that they say that are technically true, like when they're talking about feminine, masculine energy, although it's crazy to me because when I'm watching this like these teachings of them telling people like there's divine feminine and divine masculine, obviously we know that that's like a real thing, but also humans inherently have both feminine and masculine energy, like both females and males, and you can reside more in one or the other. It's also not just your appearance. Like you don't have to like transition yourself into being and looking like a male in order to express more masculine energy and be more in that masculine energy within a relationship. But it also like it doesn't mean that you need to like all this kind of stuff. I don't know. It's crazy. It's so scary. It's like fascinating in the most sad way, obviously. And then obviously they talk to the parents of the children that got roped into these types of groups, and they're so sad, and they're watching their kids transition, and they're watching their kids just either exile them out of their lives even if they're not transitioning. Like it's just like they get these people to turn on their parents. It's just so incredibly sad and crazy. And I think the end of that docuseries, like they're putting notes on there being like, you know, they're trying to get people to investigate it, but like the police are kind of like not bringing down these people. So I don't really know the end of that. I honestly forget, but I just think that you guys should definitely watch it. It's on Netflix. But yeah, I'm super into watching like commentary, cult-like stuff, like MLM stuff, anti-MLM, obviously, all that kind of stuff. So I was like super roped in for 3 episodes, and I never usually watch Netflix. Also, I'm really into the Copenhagen, Scandinavian girly fashion. Why do those girls know what they're doing? I need answers. The Scandinavian, Copenhagen, the Denmark, the whatever girlies, I don't even know, y'all in the north, that area, the Swedish girlies, y'all just really know what you're doing. And the fashion is just, it's like this, it's like, I don't even want to say clean girl fashion, because clean girl is really more like an Americanized basic version of like what the Copenhagen girlies are like wearing and doing. Like the fashion sense there is insane. Please go on TikTok and just type in Copenhagen fashion and you will be floored. Like, what is it that we are doing over here in the West? Like, can we just figure it the fuck out? So if you see me looking like a Copenhagen girl, then just mind your business, because that's just the vibe that I'm in right now. Also, I just need to say it one more time. The Giggly Squad podcast is a podcast for me. Like, anytime that I'm not in a good mood, which the past week I've not been in a good mood for no other reason other than the fact that I'm getting my period, I just play their podcast episode and everything is just fine in the world. I just think you need to find a good podcast or something that can just get your mind in a good place in like 3 seconds. And for me, I'm so in the self-development world and I've been in that world for years. So I moved heavily away from listening to podcasts. I would say the past 3 solid to 4 solid years. Before that, I was super, super into podcasts and I was doing my work and I was healing and everything. And then, you know, I was still healing in the past 4 years, but I kind of moved away from like constantly having like information overload. And I kind of found the people that really kept me focused. I listen to the same few podcasts and I don't really steer outwards. I've also like learned so much that I'm not really in that phase of my life where I'm learning a lot of new information. So a lot of like self-development books or podcasts, they don't really like ring any bells for me, or like not even ring any bells, but just like motivate me or inspire me, because I'm like, it's not that I know everything, and I also make sure to reinvest in myself and take courses and stuff, but I'm kind of not interested in it. But there are definitely people who still talk about self-development and glowing up and just like, you know, feminine energy, things like that I just like to listen in the background and they get me in a good mood. But that sometimes can still trigger this part of me that wants to like be really, really into like self-development. And I would say the only podcast that kind of like gets me out of that world completely is the Giggly Squad. They shoot the shit. They're both essentially comedians. Like, honestly, they're so funny and they just talk about random things that are happening on the internet, like very lighthearted stuff. But still, it's to the point where like I know what they're talking about. Like, they'll talk about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. They'll talk about Alex Earl. They'll talk about random things that are happening. Just like, but also they'll make fun of themselves. Like, they'll just talk about their airport shenanigans that they do and just like set the scene. And then you're just laughing. Like, I have never actually laughed that hard from a podcast than their podcast. Like, it's great. So I don't know. I just highly suggest you, first of all, listen to their podcast, but also just find something that you can just put on that just makes your life lighter. Like, I've been really thinking about this, I would say honestly this past month, because boy, has Scorpio season made me go into multiple deaths and rebirths, as usually it does, especially being a Scorpio, and there was a Scorpio moon. So like, I'm not surprised, but I just feel like, especially us, the ones who are always working on ourselves and glowing up, there is always a tendency to fall too much in this energy of taking life too seriously and always feeling like you have to work on something and always feeling like you have to be learning and you have to be doing something. And if you can find something in your life, whether that's a person, place, or a thing, that just reminds you that like life also doesn't need to be hard and it doesn't need to be like this project, is so important, because it's so true. Like life is also meant to just be lived. And I even think about, even when I went home, when I went out in Barrie, there was a few girls that we were with, and I think like a few points they were playing like country music, or they're playing like random music that, you know, most people don't want to listen to at a certain club scene. It wasn't even a club. I don't even want to call it a club. Maybe like a bar. And they were kind of like, oh my God, like kind of like complaining about it. But in my mind, I'm just like, I don't care. You know what? I don't care. Like, it doesn't always have to be this perfect situation. Like, I can have fun. And they were playing Morgan Wallen. They were playing like a bunch of country music. They were playing old Pressa. If you guys know Pressa, then you're an OG. And like just like all really like fun, good music. And I was dancing to every single one of those songs. I was like, I don't care. It doesn't have to be this big bougie fucking thing for me to have fun. Like, I'm the one that's getting in my own way by saying, oh, they're not playing the music that I want to listen to, so I'm not going to have a good time. Or I could just accept it and surrender to the fact that this place is not 100% the way that I want it to be, and I can just have fun and dance. And I did that. And I remember even my friend Danielle, because she kind of was like, oh, okay, let's go here and let's go here. So she was kind of like the leader of the night, although none of the pressure really was really on her. Like, we're all friends. But she was like, at one point they weren't playing that good of music, and everyone was like, wow, like, what is this music? Everyone's kind of, you know, when they play shitty music at a club or a bar or whatever, and you're kind of just like, oh, this is annoying, but you should just get over it. She was picking up on the fact that like everyone was kind of like annoyed and like, oh, I want to go here then, or like there's a few girls who wanted to like go to Kensington and stuff. And she was like, I don't know why they're playing this music. I've literally never heard this music here. And it was almost like she was apologizing to people because she was like, fuck, like, you know, like this is not really a good time. And I just told her, I'm like, Danielle, don't fucking worry. I'm having the best time ever. Cause she came to me at one point and she was like, I've never heard them ever play this music. Like, I'm so confused. And I was like, it's fine. I'm literally having the best time ever. It's so good. And then she was like, you know what? See, this is why I love being with you, because you just like make me feel like more grounded and like fine, like everything is fine. And I just feel like I love being that person to other people, but I just feel like that's how I want other people to be, or like feel around me. And that's how I want to feel in certain situations. Like, you don't have to always have everything perfect. Like, we just don't. Like, we can have a good time. And genuinely, I was having a great time. And I just think that, like, personally in my head, I always leave room for this energy of surrendering to whatever the night brings me, whether I'm going out or whatever happens in my life. This can be work related, relationship related, because I just think when you are too firm on how things need to be, you strip yourself from happiness and you're just stressing for no reason. But then you tend to not even manifest any fun things happening genuinely, because you're in this lack, or you're in this like skewed way of, you know, this is how it needs to be. And because it's not, like, there's no way this is going to be fun. And if you just let things go and let things be what they need to be, not only does that energy translate to other people and then they can have a great time and they can relax, but you end up just having a good time. And that's exactly what we did. We had a great time. I knew that she was able to like relax as well, and like other people kind of pick up on that. Like, I'm usually the person that if things are not like, let's say, bring it back to the music example, oh my God, they're not playing the most fun music, I'll just dance anyways. And then people have two options when you are being the person of influence that's saying, fuck it, let's just have fun. They'll either just stop being a little bitch. I'm not saying the people that I was with, they were acting like little bitches, like they weren't, but they'll either conform and they'll finally have a good time, or they'll go sit and they'll wallow and they'll leave, or they'll just not have a good time. But then that's on them. And then they've basically just wasted their night, right? And this is not to mean you can't go somewhere else and find something more your lane, but like what you're not going to do is sit here being miserable. Like, why would we do that? Why are we wasting our time in life being miserable? All right, change it, go somewhere else. else. But sometimes there's going to be times where it's not picture perfect and it's not amazing, and that's fine. And when you release that resistance, you will find the universe loves to bring you things that you couldn't even imagine. It's crazy. And it always happens every single time I release that resistance. But I know it can be definitely hard. And I think that when we are like control freaks, or we want to have the perfect night or the perfect relationship or the perfect whatever, it's hard to like let that go. But I think that you benefit yourself and then you just live life. And I think that, again, we came here to live. We didn't just come here to just live out a picture perfect version of whatever the hell we think life should be. So anyways, with that said, I'm going to go live my life, and you should too. Whatever life brings you today, tomorrow, whenever you listen to this episode, if you're kind of feeling resistance to it and being like, ugh, this is not exactly what I want, stop telling yourself that you're not going to get what you want just because what you see in front of your face is not exactly what you wanted. Things can change. Embrace it, learn a lesson from it, and just leave room for exploration. You just don't know. And if it's something you really don't want and you know you're like keen on wanting something certain, then remove yourself and know that in time you will get exactly what you do want. That is always something that I tell myself in the moments where it's like, okay, it's very clear what I want from people, places, or things, and something showing up in my life right now that I don't want. This is the opposite of what I want. I'm just going to stand firm and keep my mind on the end prize and not react to whatever's going on right now, and know that it's going to change, and know that the universe is going to give me with something that I really, really deserve and I want in my life because I deserve it. So anyways, I'm going to go because my camera is heating up. By the way, my journal guides are still on sale, and I'll probably end the sale on Tuesday. So you probably have another day like Cyber Monday to go get them. They're half price. All the links, everything that you need to know will be in the show notes or the description. Don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube channel and leave a rating and review on Spotify or Apple if you're listening. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.